What if I told you the most powerful force for change in the entire world isn't money or armies or power? What if it's something much simpler, something you can create right now, a single new note? Today, we're going to explore how one simple idea, when you actually write it down, can spark a full-blown revolution.
So let me just start with this question, right here. What if that flash of inspiration you get in the shower, or that little thought you scribbled down on a napkin, what if it isn't just a minor detail? What if it's actually the seed of something massive? That's the core idea we are diving into today.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the origin point of every great idea, the blank page. Then we'll nail down what a new note really is and get into why it matters so much. After that, we'll get practical. How can you actually do this? And we'll wrap up by leaving you with one last, very important question.
All right, let's jump right in. Section 1, the blank page. It can be a little intimidating, right? Staring at that empty screen or piece of paper, but it's also the most exciting place you can possibly be. It's the origin story of every single invention, every company, every piece of art we've ever known.
Think about it. Before any breakthrough, before a masterpiece is created, before some game-changing company is built, there's always this moment, a moment of just pure potential. Yeah, it can be a little scary, but that void, that empty space, that's where all the magic is just waiting to happen.
So how do we go about filling that amazing empty space? Well, that brings us right to Section 2. Let's get really specific here and define what we even mean when we say a new note.
Okay, here it is. A new note is basically the first raw version of a brand new thought. Now, the key words here are raw and potential. This is not some perfectly polished, fully formed business plan. No, it's the spark. It's that initial, what if moment that you capture and give just enough form to exist outside of your own head.
And what makes this new note so special? Well, it's got a few things going for it. First, it's a total blank slate. It's not weighed down by all the old baggage and how we've always done things. Second, it's like a seed. It might look really small and insignificant, but just like an acorn, it literally contains the blueprint for a giant oak tree. And maybe most important of all, it's a catalyst. It is the one new thing that can set a whole new chain of events into motion.
All right, so we've got a definition, we know what it is, but the big question is, so what? Why does one little scribbled thought matter in the grand scheme of things? That's what we're tackling next in Section 3, the journey from a simple note to a world-changing impact.
And wow, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at the left side. Before that new idea, you have stagnation, repetition, the same old. It's the land of because we've always done it this way. But then you introduce that one new note and bam! Look at the right side. All of a sudden you've got innovation, progress, and a completely fresh way of looking at everything. It's a total game changer. And here's the most surprising part of this whole thing. It doesn't take a 10-year plan or a billion-dollar budget to get things started. It just takes one idea. For real. The original idea for Federal Express was written in a college term paper that got a C. It was just one note, one idea from one person asking, hey, what if we did this differently?
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We have this tendency to think solutions have to be super complex, but history shows us again and again that's just not true. Think about the paperclip or sticky notes. The most profound shifts often come from an idea so simple and so obvious that looking back, you just can't believe nobody thought of it sooner.
So this is all great in theory, but let's make it real. How do you actually find and grow these ideas for yourself? That's what Section 4 is all about. Let's put this into practice.
It really boils down to this pretty simple 4-step process. First, you just have to observe. Pay attention. Be curious. Ask why a lot more. Second, and this part is absolutely crucial, you have to capture it. The second that thought pops into your head, write it down. Don't trust your memory. Use your phone, a notebook, anything. Just get it down. Third, you develop it. You play with it, ask questions, see how it connects to other things. And finally, you share it. An idea that's locked up in your head has zero power. It's got to get out into the world to grow.
And that all leads us to our final section. We've talked about the concept, we've talked about its power and the process, so now the spotlight shifts to you. Section 5. What will you write?
Just let that sink in for a minute. Every single great leap forward you can possibly think of, from the theory of relativity to the first line of code for the internet, it all started as one new note, a humble, tiny beginning for a world-changing outcome. And the most important part is this. That power isn't just for a few geniuses in a lab. It belongs to every single one of us.
And that is where we're going to leave it. All that potential for progress, for innovation, for a totally new way of doing things, it's just sitting there, waiting in that blank space. Your blank page is waiting for you. So the only question left is, what will your new note be?